Okay, we're in the garage. This is the garage door, overhead door opener. This is the overhead door opener control button. This is the warning notice. This is supposed to be here. This is a good thing. Okay, an interesting note about this though, this button is lower than 5 feet to the ground. So little hands can get to it and push it. It's supposed to be a little higher, and honestly, just a little higher. It should be like about that high is what it should be. Now, another interesting thing is that by law, this button is required to be within sight of this door. Now, the manufacturer's installation instructions supersede code, and although this button is inside the door, there is an app that you can get, and you can open and close the door remotely from the Department of Motor Vehicles, from the grocery store, from a relative's house, somebody could call you, you could just decide to open it, and now the door is operating without you seeing it operate. And that circumvents the intent of the code, but we don't have any control over that because LiftMaster has decided their installation instructions supersedes code. So I'm not recommending that we don't do this. I'm making you aware that when you operate this remote, you cannot see the operation of the door. Now we notice the door is ajar. Okay, and the reason why it's ajar is because I did the emergency release. So we know the emergency release works. And we also know that the door is balanced. It's not closing on its own accord. I don't have to yank it down or anything. It's working fine. That is a good thing. The door has a handle inside of it. That is a good thing. Okay, pull him. You're supposed to have that. Now, you're also supposed to have one on the other side of the door, which we don't have. You may not want it because it looks ugly, but I'm telling you that you're supposed to have, the manufacturer says that you should have a handle on the other side of the door. Take it for what it's worth. These stickers over here, these are spring tension notices, and they're supposed to be on the first panel, first, second, third, fourth, first panel, on the outside corners of the first panel. That's okay. And over here, we've got a warning notice, all right? This warning notice is like the warning notice over there by the button, okay? You're supposed to have a warning notice there, which you do have, and you're supposed to have a warning notice over here that you do have. Now we come over here, we see that we've got our optic sensors. And our optic sensors are not supposed to be elevated. Let's see if I can find my toys. I just had it here a minute ago. The optic sensors are not supposed to be higher from the ground than 6 inches.
Oh, it's too close to the ground.
I don't know. Nope, it's fine. They're fine. But now we notice the wires come into the optic sensors. Okay, those staples are not insulated staples. Those are just regular staples right off of your desk stapler. And they're supposed to be insulated staples because with the lack of insulation on these staples can pinch those wires and cause your door not to work or not to work properly. So we don't have insulated staples. So I'm going to come over here and then I'm going to zigzag around, right? Because I'm a zigzag guy. See the way this door has been decommissioned, this door lock? That's a good thing. As long as the door opener is working, we don't want to do this because we could adjust this and then lock the door, forget that we locked it. Somebody pushes the button remotely. Somebody pushes the button, forgets about it, and then you can cause damage to your door. So what we do is we turn them sideways like this. If you lose power to the house or whatever, you can loosen these bolts, you can readjust it, and you can resecure the garage and use this door manually. Kind of why we have the handle over there, so you can use the door manually. But until that happens, this is the way the door lock should be. It should be decommissioned like that. What else have we got? I don't know, bud. We'll think of something. This light in the garage is supposed to have a protective cover over it so that you don't hit it with a broom or something or a ladder and break it, and it's supposed to have one of those covers. It doesn't have a cover. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to try to re-engage. Let me make sure the lock is done right. We're going to try and re-engage the lock. Okay, that was loose. All right. Let's see what we're going to do here. No, don't. Close sesame. There we go. All right. And then we're going to do the opposite. Open sesame. Look at the door comes on up. Working fine. Our courtesy light's on. Now, on my inspection agreement that's posted on the website, my inspection agreement that my dear client signed, and I'm telling you now that I do not do block tests for the emergency release or reverse. I do it with the optic sensor. Now, the builder, for your 1 year, when the builder comes in, he can show you how to do a block test. Now, I do know that LiftMaster has instructions, okay, on their installation care and use book. There's instructions on how to do a block test. If you cannot find those instructions, they should be online. If you can't find them online, you can find them online, because in your report, I'm going to have a link baked in for some generic block test instructions. And when the builder comes in for the 1 year, he can show you a block test. But we're going to look anyway. What we're going to do is I'm going to test it with my foot. I'm going to take my big old flat zombie hoof and I'm going to break the beam, and it's going to go into reverse. Should. That's what the test is about. We want to know if it works. Inquiring minds. So here we come on down and trudging across the tundra like a dancing fool. Break the beam, it goes up. The emergency release, the emergency reverse works. It just works. That's a big thing. All right.
You